Servus, collectors. I believe Servus is another way that Germans say hello to each other. Okay, well anyways, what we're going to look at today are two Porsches. So I know there's a lot of fans of this brand here. And this is my first attempt to buy this brand of model. It says Kyosho here. I didn't know they were made by Kyosho, but when I looked at them on eBay, they looked awfully a lot like him. When I saw them on eBay, they were listed as Pao Feng. So, pleasantly, I'm guessing the quality should be good if they're made by Kyosho. Let's see here if there's any sort of year or date of manufacture. It does seem to be picked here. The seller opened them to see what cars are inside, and that's fine. I want to know what car I'm getting, not blind box. Oh, look at that. They got a 550 Spider. They got this Turbo 3.3. That. I don't really care about these two, but these two are nice. I might have to try to get those. And, oh, this Speedster, this modern 997 Speedster. I'm going to have to try to get one of those, assuming that these models are nice. So let's get into this, actually, and see what's going on. Let's see here. Interesting. It's the wrong model in the wrong box. So I have two. Here we go. Alright. So let's start with this one here. It's the lesser of the two, although all Porsches are nice. This is the Carrera GTS from the 997 body code. Okay. That's some Chinese text, I guess. Alright, so this 997 was sold between 2004 and 2012. And it's the evolution of the 996 that came before it, and you know, it replaced the very how do you say, polar styling of the 996's headlights, where now these go back to the regular oval headlights that everyone loves. Okay, so in 2011 the GTS came out. This is like a mid-level above the regular Carrera. Yeah, but it's still below the GT3, and this sold for like $100,000, $110,000. Came in a coupe like this or a cabriolet, and there's a little bit wider of a body on this and a wider track. So it's also rear-wheel drive, and then there's an upgraded 3.8 liter engine here in the rear, making 400 plus horsepower. And this model came with center lock wheels, which isn't really common on road cars. Okay. So, I'm now realizing, like many Kyoshos, it is a kit. And I'm realizing the screwdriver is a little bit different than the Kyosho ones. But I find that these Kyosho ones, or even this, they're kind of worthless. The actual size of the Phillips head, it wants to strip out the screws. So, this is a number 2 Phillips head, which is the most common size Phillips head. And this is the kind you want to use. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. This is a PH1, a Phillips 1. That's the one I've been using for these models. Okay, so I'm not going to put this thing together because that'll take too long. But we can at least take a look at the body and see if it holds up to the Kyosho standard. And, well, the more Kyoshos I get, the more problems I'm finding. And this seems to be the same case. Red from Kyosho always seems to bubble up. There's a tiny bit of bubbling going on. It's really small, you know, it's nothing major, but still, it is something I noticed in a lot of Kyoshos. You can kind of see it on the roof as well. So, tiny bit of bubbling starting up. So that's why I kind of want to know when these were made, because I don't know if in a few years this is going to get worse, or if this is as bad as it's going to get, if this is like stabilized now. There does seem to be like a water stain or something there as well. I'm wondering if this was displayed before. Maybe this was part of someone's personal collection and they displayed it. Oh, look at that. So there's no screw holding it on like Kyoshos usually do. It's just plain. And it's got like a slide lock tab for those pegs. Okay. And this base is a little bit different from Kyosho. I don't recall Kyosho bases being this rounded. Okay, well anyways. The general size is similar as the Kyosho base. So there's printing here. And that seems pretty crisp. Yeah, it's definitely crisp printing, so that's good. And usually red is pretty bad as far as filling in the panel gaps, but these panel gaps look pretty good on the door at least. Same here, looks pretty good. A little silver paint on the turn signal there. Tiny bit of overrun though. Okay. The headlights do look nice. I mean, they're lenses, but behind those lenses it looks like there's like a molded in paint bucket. I mean, what am I saying? Light bucket that's painted. Okay. Now, one thing that is really off is the size of the Porsche logo. This crest is huge. There's no way it would be remotely that large on a real vehicle. It should be half that size. Okay, well anyways. So, interesting little plastic grills here. This must be like a tongue and groove of the base plate, so it's locking into the casting. But I don't know. I didn't look up images of the real car. It seems like these vent louvers are really big. Okay, and then these are painted on, which seems okay because those are pretty small. Okay, on the bottom, does it say Kyosho? It does say Kyosho, but it also says Pao Feng. So we know that Kyosho made it, but Pao Feng may have paid for the molds for this. They might actually own the molds to this casting, because you know they have their name on the actual mold. Okay, it's nice to see, you know, the scale and the model. Just missing the year that this was originally made. Now this is odd because the plastic is snapped in there, but they still have a screw here. I guess they really want the base to be tensioned properly because it has to hold the interior, which holds the windows in place. Actually, these windows aren't so bad. They're relatively flat. They're not super wavy, which is pretty common on molded windows. Okay, well anyways, this side, yeah, that side. What about this side? Pretty good. It's not too bad. Alright, now with most of the older blister Kyoshos, there's no paint on the mirrors, but at least it has mirrors, so that's good. And then the taillights, yeah, plastic inserts. A little extra plastic flash there, though. It's causing a little gap underneath that taillight. Does wiggle around too. Luckily it is screwed together. Possibly I might take this off and trim it down a little bit and then glue it back in. The exhaust tips are nicely painted silver, and there is a little depth to them. Would have been nice to have a little black in the middle there. Okay, there's some molded detail of the rear engine there behind the rear axle. And then we got a little bit of black here in these vents, so that's actually a nice touch that they did. It could have easily just been red, but yeah, they went back and added some black. Molded in windshield wiper, yeah, molded in windshield wipers and painted black. So other than the tiny bit of paint bubbling I'm noticing here and on the roof, it's actually pretty much on par with Kyosho. Whether that's good or bad is for you to decide. It was on par as far as the price goes. You know, this Pao Feng thing is pretty much the same price as other used Kyoshos. Okay, well, we'll move on here. I'll pull up Mr. Spinny Spin. It's gonna be weird actually to... No, it's got no wheels. That's weird. Okay, let's pull out the next one, the better car, which is the 911 Turbo. And this is the 991/1, which is the 7th generation replacement for the 997 Turbo that came out in 2012. Or actually, I believe this one came out in 2012. Okay. So again, it's a kit, but apparently this person put the kit together for me. So definitely I'm thinking it's from a personal collection. Okay, so this car is supposedly a new platform, which is the only the third new platform of the original 911 that launched way back in 1963. So the 996 was the second new one, and then this is the third, being the 997 body code. So the turbo has a twin turbocharged 3.8 liter flat six back here, and it's making over 500 horsepower. It's all-wheel drive, and it's a pretty fast car. It accelerates in the 2-second range, 2.6 seconds, according to some car magazines. And it also has some adaptive aerodynamics. I think maybe those, and the rear wing, of course. And it has rear wheel steering. I never knew that before. Alright, so looking at the model though, there's some serious issues. What is going on with the rear wheel? When when I say that, why is there such a massive gap? The front is pretty bad, but it's not clown-like. This is just really bad. What's going on this side? Same thing. That is horrible. So the stance on this model is just it's a disaster as far as the rear goes. Boy, now I'm curious what's going to happen with the red one. Hold on 1 second. If we look at the red one, the picture of the red and the picture of the yellow, they don't look bad. So I'm going to have to probably take this thing apart and see what's going on. Worst case scenario, I'll take it apart and I'll file the hole for the axle so the axle can go up and ride up a little higher, and I'll correct the stance that way. That's one nice thing about a plastic base. It's really easy to modify because it's such a soft material. Those are actually nice screws. They look really precision. Okay, so, well, let's continue on and just pretend the stance is good. So we got some black printing here on the intake here. It's alright. It's not great though. You can clearly see some paint missing there. The casting itself has a massive gouge here. Maybe that's where the sprue was and they clipped it off. This rear vent is not painted well either. That's not very good. There's something wrong here. This body gap, why is there metal there? Right, so that's not good either. The taillights are actually quite nice, better than the other one. They're really thin and really well laid in there, so that's good. The Porsche printing is pretty clean. Okay, and it seems relatively centered. Maybe it's a little bit off to that side. Okay, these exhaust tips are much better. You got the silver rim, a little bit of black there, so that's a smarter choice. Oh, I thought it was part of the base pan, but it's not. It actually is a paint app. There's black paint here, so that's good. A lot of effort. And there's a thin little third brake light here, so that's good effort as well. And there's black here on the vents here, so that's actually good. This rear end is quite nice. The casting, you can see this parting line here from the mold. Okay, and there's some sort of scratch in the windshield, three-dimensional and painted windshield wipers. Orange peel on this one though. The paint isn't as good as the red one. And that stain, I can polish that out though. Okay. Yeah, this side again, the black isn't really applied well. And actually these tiny little, I'm guessing these are reflectors. That red isn't laid in very well either. On this side it's pretty good, but not this side. Okay, no paint in the mirrors. That's to be expected, I guess, from this company. Decent door handle. And yeah, again, the wheels. The wheels themselves aren't so bad. They're actually alright. No disc brake system though. But the stance, yeah. Okay, stop dwelling on that. Now these headlights. What is up with that? I would believe that a modern 911 has flush headlights. But the execution of this headlight, not so good. There's just this vertical ridge there, which you don't see on the red one. You see the red one is much more flush. So I don't know if it's a quality control problem or if this mold in the casting is just poorly designed. The headlights on this car are much better. The Porsche crest is the same size. Seems too large. But you can see deeper panel lines here because for some reason this yellow was laid on thinner, although it has orange peel, whereas this super thick one is quite smooth. Yeah, I notice the dashboard's quite different as well while we're at it here, holding both these cars. And then the Porsche Turbo does seem wider, as it should be. Yeah, much more powerful car. And then we got some sort of, I don't know if this is a removable panel or that's just the design of the roof. Strange. Okay. Alright, so, I mean, even with the bubbling, I'm gonna say the red car is the better one to go with. It's just some weird stuff here. Really weird stuff. Okay, well, I guess we'll let Mr. Weird Stuff spin around. Let it enjoy a little bit of glory before it gets torn apart and modified by me to make it look better. Well, so what do you guys think? You know, do you think a Pao Feng is as good as a Kyosho or worse? I'm kind of 50-50. I'm thinking this yellow car is definitely worse than the standard of Kyosho. The red car seems like it's on par. It's just the Kyosho red cars usually have paint bubbling. So that's what I got for you guys today. Chime in if you want. See ya.